December, and I just had a holy shit moment. Do you realize that we are 3 weeks away from 2016? That's 3 weeks away from the end of the year. And in that time, we have 2 to 3 more holidays, a shit ton of money to spend, a family to see, carbs and sweets in every direction. Last night, I ate 4 cookies. I know, I shouldn't have. And that's not to mention all the cookie batter that I ate. But, I mean, you have to taste the cookies before you eat them, right? I'm trying to make an argument that's not valid. All right, but not to worry, because today I've brought on a fitness extraordinaire that's going to be teaching us how to get through the holiday guilt and bounce back in the new year. He's going to teach us how to work out and get it together. His nickname is Heat, and he's going to teach us how to look hot for the holidays. You may recognize him from VH1's I Love New York and I Love Money. He is now the world's only TV fitness personality and music artist to combine his original dance moves and fitness programs all in one. He is currently on Spike TV's newest fitness series, Sweat Inc., starring Jillian Michaels. His workouts and music videos have been featured in top-tier media such as Steve Harvey, E! Entertainment, VH1, MTV, Men's Health Magazine, Women's Health Magazine, Glamour Magazine, and many, many more. He was the host and celebrity fitness nutrition expert for Being Fat Sucks, a show sponsored by Google with over 9.1 million viewers. He has graced the cover of over 50 international magazines and is now the CEO and founder of Caliente Fitness, a company that specializes in mentoring and training clients and celebrities worldwide. Please welcome Jason Rosell.
Hola, hola. Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
I am amazing, and now that I'm talking to you, even more caliente, baby.
You know, we were watching your music videos a few minutes ago, and they were warming up the studio.
Yeah, you know, you got to keep the seats warm anywhere you live, and I try my best, you know?
I mean, yeah, panties must be dropping all over the place for you.
Oh, they're dropping left and right, but you know what? I stay focused because in life, you can have all the panties and all the things you want thrown at you, but if you get sidetracked, you lose that chance, and I'm just not yet. I'm too young.
Yes. And speaking of chances, you're currently on Sweat Inc., right?
Yes, I am.
So
with
for people,
the one and only Jillian Michaels.
Yes. So for people that are not familiar with the show, you want to give us a little background on what the show is and what your role on the show is?
Absolutely. So Sweat Inc. is a show where Jillian Michaels and Randy Hetrick, which he's the CEO, founder of the well-known TRX bands, along with Obi Abedike, and they are searching for America's next fitness phenomenon. Out of thousands of fitness companies and gym quote-unquote owners, they narrowed it down to the top 27 out of thousands in 1 year of casting, and I was blessed to get on the show. And after almost 2 months of filming over this past summer, blood, sweat, and tears, my program called Everybody Work It Out under my company, Caliente Fitness, beat out all of the group fitness extraordinaires, and I am now a finalist on the show.
Wow, and the finale's this week, right?
The finale's actually tomorrow, Wednesday, yeah. Crazy.
Wow. So I guess my first question would be, is Jillian Michaels as scary as everybody imagines her to be?
Jillian Michaels is for sure one of the scariest individuals I've ever met.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, everyone's scary in their own way, right? She also has a big heart. It's just she sometimes speaks really fast, and if you have I guess if you're soft-shelled, she can break you apart really, really quick. For those out there that have watched me on the show for my episode that just aired, I just didn't put up with it. And I stuck to my guns, and even though she yells, she screams, she cusses left and right, she's really good at intimidating people. And I was, no matter what, not going to back down from my beliefs in my system. And ultimately, the judges and even her agreed that I had what it takes to be America's Next Fitness Phenomenon. So never back down, brother.
Nice. So what was your experience like on the show overall? Is there anything that you learned or anything that you gained from the experience?
Absolutely. I've been on several shows and a lot of life lessons in business, and I would say that I learned so much. Even though me and Jillian duked it out many times during filming, I did learn a lot of business ethics, which is, for one, whatever you're really good at, and a lot of people are really good at different things, and I'm one to blame because I've done so much in this entertainment industry. Stick to one thing and one thing only. Why? You become so awesome at it, everything else that you're really good at will come together. That was probably one of the biggest things that I learned because I do a lot. And between that and then simple, you're getting advice from, people that are multi-millionaires. They've succeeded. So, you have to learn how to put your ego aside and say, wait a minute, what are you teaching me? And that's what I did. I never backed down from my beliefs, but I also was very open-minded. So the takeaway is, even though you can be successful at whatever you're doing, be open-minded on anything, whether it's business or even dating or whatever you decide in life that's important to you. Be open-minded and take notes from people that are successful, and that's what I did. I didn't let my ego get the best of me like it did to a lot of competitors.
That's good. Did you learn anything from Jillian, like trainer to trainer? Are you going to be a little tougher on your clients now?
Absolutely not. That's where me and Jillian...
What's your approach?
Yeah, my approach is completely opposite. My her workouts are let me yell at you and let me scream and then this and that. Mine are more about, let's pump up the volume, let's get the boogie woogie going, let's sweat and do 12-minute workouts. That's how I do it. I work with obese people, overweight people. Those are predominantly who I work with. Do I work with normal people as well that only need 5-10 pounds to lose? Sure. But I was a fat ass most of my life. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to have a trainer yell at me and tell me what to do. I do my things more in a fun way. So I will never do it her way.
And working out should be fun, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, so while we're on that, let's talk about Caliente Fitness. So what is that and what made you get started?
So, Caliente Fitness is basically a one-stop shop for those that are trying to lose weight in a fun, new, innovative way. Okay. I know firsthand what it's like to be overweight most of my life, and I will tell you, I never thought in a million years I'd be in this position physically or mentally. So I build people's A, confidence up, and B, I offer things such as custom nutrition and fitness plans that are just made for people specifically, their goals, their genetics, what your schedule's like, because I hate diets. This is a lifestyle change. I tell you what to eat, when to eat it, because what works for one person doesn't work for the next, and this is why I'm successful. I also offer digital download workout DVDs for those that can't afford a trainer, and those are awesome because they come along with my music albums that are my original music. So whether you're on the go or you're on a super tight budget, you put on my workout, you're going to lose weight, you're going to dance the pounds away. And I also do Skype coaching for those that need that extra push, whether it's me training with you in your living room or if you just need those words of encouragement, I'm that guy, and Caliente Fitness will get you caliente for sure.
What? So I can just call you and you're just going to talk nice to me all day and give me compliments?
Absolutely.
That sounds amazing. Can I?
Absolutely.
Let me give
afterwards my little tank top, and then you'll get even more pumped up.
Here's my credit card number. Are you ready?
All right, we're ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, and go.
Okay, now one thing that I do have to ask you about is I Love New York, because that was my guilty pleasure back in the day. I Love New York, I Love Money, all of those VH1 shows, I used to like those a lot.
Uh-oh.
Are those your proudest moments, or is that something you're like, I'm ready to move on from?
God, can you believe I Love New York was in 2007. It's going to be almost 10 years.
10 years.
It's insane. It's funny. I was just a fan. I still have fans that send me fan mail from different countries, states, whatever. And this guy actually, he was obsessed with me in 12-pack on the show.
Yeah.
And,
you guys were really close, right? You were the buddy, the duo, the bromance.
Oh, yeah, we were the party boys.
Yeah.
And, he sent me a picture because I guess he, finds these clippings. I don't even talk to any of the cast members for years now. And, 12-pack, I mean, you wouldn't even recognize him. He's got 2 kids. I think he's married.
Oh, wow.
Everyone's moved on. There's only 2 or 3 of us out of all of these I Love Moneys and Rock of Loves that have really taken their 5 minutes and extended it to a better level. I mean, you even have people from my buddy Mike the Miz. He's a famous WWE wrestler. David Tongo, which is married to Jennifer Hudson. So there's a couple of us that have really taken what we did. We had fun doing these shows because they were insane.
Right.
And it did give us a lot of, I mean, for me particularly, I remember 6 months prior to filming that show, I had just broken up with a girlfriend. I was living in a couch, for God's sakes, and probably 2 months into the show airing, you know how weird it was for me to be on Sunset Boulevard and see my face on a billboard, and my life just changed dramatically. From not having a car to legitimately people picking me up in limos to do this, to this. I'm like, it was crazy. I mean, I was living like a rock star for 3 years of my life. I'm not going to lie, but it's not what I wanted. It was like, what is it like to be famous? Great. You get to experience that, but I wasn't happy, where now I can really say I'm happy because I'm doing what I really love.
And that's good. Whereas a lot of people, I think, can go through an experience like that and then, maybe have not the best moments on television, and then they just want to get away from it and move on from it. Whereas you at least capitalized off of it, and you're like, okay, I have a fan base, I made connections, and you built this whole fitness empire for yourself. And now look at you.
Absolutely.
But I have to ask, so coming on to that show, being that really set the stage for a lot of the projects that you were able to take on afterwards and even currently, did you come into that show looking at it that way as a business marketing type of opportunity, or did you really, were you really trying to fall in love with New York?
No. Well, was it premeditated a little bit to a certain extent? But here's the truth for a lot of people that don't know this. I don't know if you remember the show Entourage back in the day. I had just gotten my SAG card. I had a small little speaking role on the show, and I just became SAG during the process where I went and auditioned for I Love New York. Okay. But here's the interesting part. I did not know it was New York who I would be competing for.
Oh.
The producer said it would be one of the reality stars of Flavor of Love. So it could have been any of the girls. So I said, you know what, I'm not going to do this show. I just became part of the Screen Actors Guild. And guess what? I want to be an actor. I want to be taken serious. And ironically enough, moving forward, my mom's like, you know what, do it. Reality TV is big now. I did it. And was it a big shock for me that it was New York? Yeah, it was.
So did you not find out until the first day you started taping?
Swear to God, first day.
Wow.
First day. And, it was nerve-wracking because she was not someone that I would date in real life. Okay. But I rolled with it as best as I could.
And she's very like animated. Yeah, she's very animated and very. She has a personality and a demeanor that you kind of have to really love in order to date her.
Oh, absolutely. She's amazing. She was amazing TV, and she was full of fun, drama, and whatever. I mean, ultimately, I couldn't have left the show in a better way because even though reality, there's a lot of unscripted things that you don't see or whatever, but right when I got kicked off halfway throughout the season because of my family values, because I chose my family over her, I couldn't have left the show in a better way. Yeah. And that kind of parlayed onto doing 2 other reality shows after that, which is I Love Money 1 and I Love Money 2, where I competed with all the crazies from Rock of Love and this and that. It was insane.
What was that like to walk onto that show? I mean, and to be honest, it was really like walking onto like a farm where you get to see all the different types of, animals that they have on TV. No offense, but I mean, those shows are very, and the people that they cast are very, and they put together a very eclectic, eccentric group of people.
Oh, absolutely.
What was that like for you? Because, I mean, honestly, I'll be honest with you, Jason. You're one of the more sane, level-headed, not so crazy, trashy reality TV stars. Like, you actually, I mean, you have a really good head on your shoulders, and you've been able to really, like I said, build this empire for yourself. So what was that like to walk into this and see all these other crazies that they've had on these other shows and then have to live with them and compete for, what was it, $250,000?
Right. Yeah, it was insane. I mean, walking in there, you have all walks of life. You had, for example, there was a guy called Midget Mac.
Yeah.
This guy, what was he, 3 foot tall, and he had chains around his neck that weighed more than him.
Yeah.
And he was a self-prolific rapper from the ghetto. Then you have, the Brandy and the Blondie twins, and they're in Cloud 88 talking in backwards gibberish.
Yeah.
And then you have the Stallionaires, and then you have Mr. Boston, and then you have all these weird, if you watch the show, obviously, what you did, so weird, and I had to just, I don't even want to call it adapt. I just rolled with it, and a lot of times I was just in disbelief. I'm like, how the hell did I end up here? How did I end up? Don't get me wrong. I mean, it was awesome going to this, what was it, Huatulco, Mexico.
Yeah.
They rented it out an 18-bedroom mansion on the water. It was a private island. It was, imagine waking up and you see an island and you're the only people in this island in this huge house. It was crazy. I'll tell you this. It was sleepless nights. There was cameras everywhere except the bathroom. Mm-hmm. You can't do anything. You can't sleep normal. And I think it was like a pattern because on every show, actually, I Love Money 1, I got kicked off in the 3rd episode, and then the other one I got kicked off like in the 7th or something. The point is, you get to a point where I was losing my own mind. I was like, if I stay here any longer, I'm going to be worse than freaking these people going to the psych room, know?
And then you're going to end up like all of them.
Oh, yeah, they were used to it, Some of them wouldn't even sleep. They stay up drinking all night, which I would stay up drinking with them as much as I could, but I would crash out. Yeah. Imagine drinking till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, waking up at 7 a.m. to do competitions. Oh, my God, I was out of it.
You were training, weren't you? Weren't you like, I remember you would do like push-ups in the morning and like get ready for...
Yeah.
Like you'd work out.
Oh yeah. I was prepared so much for the physical sense, but this was
right.
It was a shit show. It was so many weird things happening that and it all had to do always with alliances and this and that. So it just felt so good. And like now, almost 10 years later, coming back on reality TV and a completely opposite type of show
and to have your life in a completely different direction.
Yeah. And being on a show that has to do about yourself and your company, like saying, hey, this is legitimately a mixture of The Apprentice and Shark Tank, and saying, does America believe in your fitness company? How cool is that? Not because of how many drinks I'm pouring down my throat.
Right. Okay, so it is the holiday season. We're getting ready for the new year, and this is the season with all the carbs, all the sweets, all the alcohol. So I, as my fitness nutrition guru right now, Jason,
yes,
I want you to give me some tips for me and my listeners out there to survive the holiday season and bounce into the new year flawlessly. So what fitness and nutrition tips do you have for surviving the holidays?
Okay, here are
because last night I ate 4 cookies, and I normally don't eat 4 cookies, but I ate 4 of them.
Oh, it's okay. And I'm going to break it down and shake it down. This is for you and all your listeners. These are my top 3 Caliente Fitness nutrition tips.
Okay, give them to me.
All right. Number 1, every morning before breakfast, drink a warm glass of water with lemon.
Okay.
The reason why, it helps you burn stored fat that's just been sitting internally in your system. So by the time you go eat breakfast, you're already causing your metabolism to get higher, okay? And it's killing those extra cookies, all the fat, all the sugar. So, it's kind of like saying, hey, thanks for last night, but let me at least burn down some of this fat from these cookies. So that's tip number one.
So warm water with lemon. In the morning.
Yeah, correct. So you can legitimately in a cup of like a mug for 30 seconds. You can even put water in the microwave. Then you take a fresh squeezed lemon, squeeze it all the way in there, and look, at first it may be a little bitter, but once you put it down your throat and it hits your stomach, you just feel a coat, and then the acid is burning naturally, and it's not bad. I mean, I have it 5 days a week, and I strongly recommend it. It's a natural fat burner without having to take pills. My second favorite tip is try to have a small calorie snack in between breakfast and lunch and between lunch and dinner.
Okay. What would be considered a small calorie snack?
So usually I like to stay in the range on an average American, say 100 to 150 calories. So I'll give you my top three. The first one would be a small apple and a handful of almonds, preferably unsalted almonds. Why? Because apples are very low on sugar, and almonds have just a little bit of protein, natural good fat, and carbs to help you get that energy boost and keep your waist nice and tight. My second favorite that you can have is a protein bar that's natural, non-GMO, that's usually, 100 to 150 calories, and it's great for when you're on the go, especially if you're a very busy guy like Zack, okay?
Yes. Zack is always running and traveling in an Uber or on a plane or in studio, recording this with you, Jason.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, you always have to think ahead, and if you prepare like this, I guarantee you're always going to look good and feel good. And then my tip number 3 is try not to eat heavy carbohydrates in the evening past 6 or 7 o'clock at night. I mean, look, the average person by 6, 7 is when they come home from work. So it's based on that. The reason why I want you to think of your body as a car, right? This is just a metaphor to help you start, literally not like you put gasoline in a car, right? So let's think of gasoline as your carbohydrates. If you don't burn that gasoline, quote unquote, carbohydrates, it will turn into fat. So please avoid having carbohydrates cookies at night.
All right. So what is a good calorie range that is there an appropriate calorie range that we should kind of aim for?
Honestly, it depends on what your goal is. Like I was saying earlier, why I'm successful doing what I do. 98% of my clients are all online, and all of them have amazing results. Most of them are for people who are looking to lose weight. Some of them, right, they only have 5 pounds, 10 pounds of fat, and they just want to tone up. So it just depends. But I would say usually if you eat your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, average, keep it between 300, 400 calories, tops. And your snacks, if you make them between 100 and 150, you're under 2,000 calories a day, and you're naturally going to burn more fat and lose more weight as weeks go by. So if you want to do it that way, keep it simple. If you want to get more specific, get my plans. Put code Zack. I'm going to give all of you 20% off and a big hug, a virtual hug for that matter.
A big virtual hug. Okay.
That's all you have to do. All you have to do is mention Zack, and that's it.
All right. I like that. Okay, so where can they go? I mean, everybody's going to run over and use code Zack right now, so where can they go?
Absolutely. You're going to go to calientefitness.net, so caliente like hot, fitness.net, or if you just Google Caliente space fitness with my name, Jason Rosell, you're good to go. All my social media's there. I do anything and everything to make people feel and look better than they ever had in their life.
I like it. Okay, now the last question that I ask all of my guests is if you could go back to Jason at 20 years old or in that early 20s mindset, what advice would you give yourself?
I would have to say enjoy life and don't think too much. Because when you get to my age, in my early 30s, all I do is think too much.
I like that. Okay, and then and one more, because I want to touch on the fitness. So what advice do you have? I think a lot of the millennials, a lot of the people in their early 20s, they're just entering college, putting on that freshman 15. They maybe don't like to work out because they think their metabolism can handle it. Do you have any proactive advice for them to stay active?
Absolutely. Honestly, I hated working out most of my life, and there's some days that I still don't like working out because I'm so busy with everything else. In all honesty, and I'm not trying to oversell myself, because my workout programs are all 12-minute increments. Example, for someone that's just getting off of the couch or just starting to work out, for example, it's called Everybody Work It Out. It's on my website. It's a digital download DVD. Month 1, 3 times a week, 12 minutes. That's all I want from you, 12 minutes. It may not seem like a lot, but believe me, my goal is getting you off of that couch. Month 2, 3 times a week, 24 minutes. And then month 3, we get you up to 3 times a week for 36 minutes. Now, say you don't want to spend a dime in your future, in your health, or in your looks. Start off by taking 15, 20-minute walks on your own while you're freaking listening to music. Get up and get moving, because the thing is, the older you get, this metabolism just gets lower, and it's going to make it harder for you to lose weight. And ideally, if you can wake up and just even do your walk before you go to work, before you shower, get it done, because then you're going to look back every day while you're laying in bed at night saying, you know what, I feel good because I did it and I got it out,
All right, I like it. Everybody needs to go and follow Jason on social media and check out Caliente Fitness. And if you want to, I'm pretty sure Netflix or YouTube has some throwback of I Love New York or I Love Money if anybody wants to refresh their memories on that. But focus on Caliente Fitness. Go check out Jason. Thank you so much for calling in today, Jason, and giving us
It was my pleasure,
your
Zach.
fitness
you are
advice.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, go follow Jason. And if you've got any holiday parties going on this month, one thing you don't want to do is drink and drive. So pull yourself together and call yourself an Uber. It's not that hard. It's an app on your phone. And for those of you that are too cheap to pay for it, because you probably spent it on all that alcohol, Uber is hooking you up with a free ride for new users. Just use code UberNoFilter, one word, UberNoFilter, and your ride is on me. Well, sort of, but you got it. Just go download the app, Uber No Filter code. Don't forget to follow me at Just Plain Zack across all social media platforms, and visit justplainzack.com for healthy holiday cocktail recipes and more. Don't forget to listen to #NoFilter with me every Wednesday on iTunes. Go subscribe right now. Thank you guys for listening. I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.